Thank you, devotees. Sukham Atyantikam yattat buddhi-grāhyam atīndriyam. Vetti yatra na caivāyam sthitaś calati tattvataḥ. So when one detracts the mind from all sense objects and fixes it on the lotus feet of Krishna, what happens? Sukham Atyantikam yattat. Whatever we have been searching for lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes, it is ātyantika sukha pravritti. We want something that constantly gives me happiness forever and ever increasingly so. Anandam buddhi-vardhanam. So the soul is actually searching for Krishna consciousness. Actually, I think in the preface of the Krishna book, George Harrison writes, everyone is looking for Krishna. Some realize they do and some don't. So the soul is looking for ātyantika. The word that ātyantika is the visheshana shabdam. Sukham is the experience he's having, experiencing. And the visheshanam, the thing that qualifies that sukham, what is that? It is ātyantikam, which means it doesn't have an end. There is no anta to that happiness he's experiencing. So the yogi experiences ātyantika sukham yattat and buddhi-grāhyam, and this senses, this happiness is not something that is imaginary. It is sensible. That is the meaning of buddhi-grāhyam. It is happiness that arises out of realization of something. It is not akin to something like an intoxication or some delusion. The material happiness is based on delusion, is it not? Now, let me give you an example. Say someone is attracted to a girl or someone is attracted to a boy. Now, say, while this person is going to get married, I told this person, this boy will become, a drunkard when he's 40. He'll become so sick when he is 50. He'll lose his job at 45. He's an angry fellow. Or his in-laws are very cruel. Whatever it is. If we come to know the entire reality, when we go through something as exciting as a marriage or a relationship, we might actually lose taste in that whole act. But because we do not know the entire scenario of what that situation entails, we accept it with a smile. So we embrace it as if that's the best thing that could ever happen. So material happiness itself is based on selective ignorance, actually. If there was no selective ignorance, we cannot actually appreciate the situation. Even the idea of eating, if I really understood what actually is the food I'm eating, I might not actually be able to enjoy it, or even the act of sex for that matter. It is based on selective ignorance because we think that this is very pleasuresome. Within the scale that we are experiencing it, it appears very beautiful. If you zoom it out a little bit or zoom it in a little bit, it actually loses taste. So all material happiness is actually experienced through the senses, is actually based on selective ignorance. We choose to be ignorant, which is why we are able to be happy. But this happiness that the yogi experiences is not so. It is buddhi-grāhyam. It is actually sensible. It is experienced through the transcendental senses. So I'm not going into the technical details that Prabhupada brings in this purport, because Prabhupada talks about different types of samadhis. Samprajnata samadhi, asamprajnata samadhi, that the yogi is experiencing. And Prabhupada makes the case that this actually talks about a personal situation, not an impersonal situation. So the point is, this is Sukham Atyantikam yattat buddhi-grāhyam and atīndriyam. This happiness is not within the compass of the senses. It is atīndriyam, which is why this cannot be taught in a class. How happy is this? How enjoyable is Krishna consciousness? This cannot be taught. Why? Because it is atīndriyam. It is avachya, avachakam. What is that word? Upanishad says, Yatho vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. So the vak cannot actually touch this. The senses cannot perceive it. This is the nature of transcendental happiness, transcendental pleasure. And we all can experience this because I, by nature, am a part and parcel of Krishna. By my own existence, I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. My nature is to serve him. I'm potentially a devotee of Krishna. But I have to awaken that potential by engaging in the service of the Lord. And as soon as I engage the service, my potential is awakened, and I realize this is what I am anyway meant to do. One realizes, and one realizes that vetti yatra na caivāyam. What does it mean? One actually realizes that vetti yatra na caivāyam. Sthitaś calati tattvataḥ. He's fixed in the truth. He understands there's nothing more to be known. And he knows everything what is to be known. Vetti yatra na caivāyam. Sthitaś calati tattvataḥ. He's fixed in this truth, situated in boundless transcendental happiness. He rejoices in the self. So this is the meaning of transcendental happiness. And yam labdhva chaparam labham. After understanding this happiness, yam labdhva chaparam labham, one does not feel there's something more to be known. How do we experience this happiness? Very simple. Prabhupada, was listening to Prabhupada today. And Prabhupada is saying, we have to give up being a karmi. We have to give up. This is the first step. Being a karmi means wanting to get something from this world. I must be ready to give up all material expectation that I have, all material fruitive tendencies I have. And that is the price I have to pay in order to get this transcendental happiness. What is the price? The price is I must give up the tendency that I can get something here. Like Prabhupada is explaining this, I felt so poor. So we have 10 crores of rupees, 20 crores of rupees, 5 lakhs of rupees, or whatever we have, or $1 million, $2 million. Prabhupada is explaining, if we ask a devotee to give up their pursuit and to work, then they become very demotivated. So Prabhupada is explaining, why did communism fail? Because people are not motivated to work without any fruitive result. I'm working very hard, but I'm not getting any fruitive result. So communism failed because by nature, people are fruitive. That's what capitalism has proved. This failure of communism has proved this fact that people want fruit from this world. And if you ask people to give up the fruitive mentality, give up everything, come here, join the temple, we will give you prasadam. This is what Prabhupada is saying. I also will not go because I also by nature am fruitive. I will give you, I'll maintain you. I'll give you prasadam. Serve Krishna 24 hours. Will I agree? I'll say no. I have so many other engagements. And what do you have to do with those engagements? I'll gain something from here in this world. And by that gain, I'll be happy. So this is my disease. That I have something to gain here. And even if one says I have some duty to perform, okay, but am I ready to perform that duty as if there is no gain to me through that duty? The answer is a resounding no. We believe that there is some duty, there is some gain through that duty. And because I believe there is some gain to that duty, Prabhupada is saying, I get entangled in that activity. And because I get entangled in that activity, I experience suffering and happiness. Why? Because I want to gain. I'm not ready to give up that gain and serve Krishna in a very practical way. I speak so much theory, so many shlokas, so much theory, but practically when it comes to giving up gain that I want to enjoy in terms of money, in terms of comfort, in terms of food, in terms of this, in terms of that, I don't want to do it. So this is the problem. This is my attachment. So the price I have to pay in order to gain this happiness of Sukham Atyantikam yatat is that I must be ready to give up this idea of that I will gain something. One must be ready to give up everything for the sake of Krishna consciousness, for the sake of Krishna, for the sake of one spiritual master. And if I'm ready to give up,
all of it, then that is the price I can pay. The price of full surrender. Full surrender. So we can test ourselves whether I am actually spiritual or not. Ask your mind, am I ready to give up everything? We should not cheat ourselves by saying, no, this is my duty and all of that. Okay, even if it is my duty, if something is taken away from me, will I be sad or will I be happy? So my whole house burns to ashes. Will I be happy or sad? If I'm sad, then I'm thinking I'm this house. I lost something, I gained something. Actually, there should not be a feeling like that because there is no fruit. So everyone in this world is working hard from day to night to gain some fruit, which anyway they are going to lose. So if you are able to give this mentality or fruit of mentality, I mean, I should not say we, I'm the first one to give it up. So if I give it up, then I can experience this Sukham Atyantikam. If not, what happens? Then I'm constantly anxious. Whether will I gain this fruit or will I lose this fruit? You see. So let's pray to the lotus feet of the spiritual master so we may get the strength to give up this fruit of mentality in this material world, which is binding us life after life, birth after birth. And if we do that, then we become qualified to serve the Lord. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? I will do. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.